Hi guys, so this is the second video on demonstrating my new Max Patcher template with Control Panel. So first of all, there are a lot of patchers, sub-patchers in here. This is like the minimum amount of objects I could get away with on the main window, because this will be used to create whatever application you are creating, but these objects are necessary for the control panel itself. And as you know, the dispatcher object is always necessary to control your main window or any window. So let's just let me introduce these little ones here. So this is nothing but the mouse state, reporting the mouse state to the patcher. There is 6 outlets, 5 of them comes from the mouse state object, and I added one extra one where only changed mouse information will be outputted, and that's good to use to update certain UI elements and information on the screen. I was just trying to prevent from overloading the CPU and giving it too much work, so I am only sending the whatever changes, the information, the mouse information that changes. I don't know why the mouse state object sends out a lot of repeated numbers. Like here, if you hook up a print object to this, it will send out a lot of repeated numbers. I don't know why that's happening. So, but that's what I'm controlling here with the change, these 2 change objects on the X and Y, and I am using those to update the location on the control panel, which is this. So I'm just updating these numbers as I am moving the main patcher. Okay, so that's pretty simple. And then this subpatcher, all it has is a bunch of send objects for different purposes: send flag, send size, send title, no title, send path, and send mouse. So that's what that is. I just put it into a subpatcher so it doesn't take up so much room on the main patcher. But the main thing is this thing here. So what can we do with this? We can close it here and then reopen it from here. So this second video is about what's happening behind the control panel, not the control panel itself. So how do we get to that? So I can enable the title bar here, this title bar, not the main window, this title bar. Okay, but I can also do it from here. Okay, these are twin toggles I have created that they reflect each other's state and they work together. So when I click on this becomes clicked also. I call it a twin toggle, which is also a subpatch I created. It's not complicated at all, but I needed this functionality. So at this point, what you want to do is go to maximize, and immediately we have access to the patcher of the control panel. So since I have toolbars disabled, you have to enable it here, and then we have toolbars. Okay, and it comes up in presentation mode, so we can disable presentation mode here. And then we have access to all the object and subpatchers that control this main control panel. So there are no objects underneath here. Everything exists around the main user interface. So let's go step by step. So this patcher also has a dispatcher object which controls the on and off of the main the title bar and the menu bar, because without that you can't access the patcher. So that's what this is for, and there is two inputs and one output. So this is the twin toggle subpatch that I created. So those two buttons work together, as I was explaining before. So it just basically goes prepend set. That means each button sends its state to the other button, but does not trigger it, because I am already triggering one button that does the work, but the other button has to simply mirror it. So it doesn't matter which button I press, I will get the same result. And this is window title, window exact, window no title, window exact, so I can turn things on and off. And then these two connects to the other buttons, and this one goes to the dispatcher object, this outlet, and controls the title bar and the menu bar. Okay, that's that. So next one, current status pane. So these are the objects that and commands that control what's happening here. To get the current screen resolution from the screen size object, that's where we get the info. Comes in here, and then we have to unpack it and then do some tricks with that and to display it in these what are these UI objects or message boxes. It just displays whatever comes back from the screen size object. Okay, these are for the flags. Receive size, receive title, receive flags. So all of this is basically just transmitting the information here, so you can see what's going on already in the dispatcher object or the main window. Yeah, so that's that. This main window settings pane, main window settings pane, main window settings, window flags, frame, title, menu. So this is where we send information. We want to control the main window. This is where we get the current state, and this is where we change it, and then it will reflect here almost immediately. Okay, so this dispatcher looks like this. And there is a lot of stuff happening there. But this is all the functionality of the dispatcher object. This is like everything. See, nothing very complicated. Just sending the commands. These are the commands that the dispatcher object can accept, and then it does what you tell it to do, right? Yeah, you recognize everything here that we are controlling from here. Okay. So dispatcher is a little more complicated. This is what controls the size and position of this area. No, just this one, this area. Okay, and what it's doing here is telling where the window should appear according to what you select here, what you select here, what you select here. And then if you move your mouse around, adjusting things from here, that will also be reflected here. So this is a little bit complicated, but it does the job. So constrain. Dispatcher is subpatcher is this area here. See, it's good to organize your patches very clearly and separate functionality into individual subpatchers, because then you have a better idea in your mind, like what should be happening in which subpatch. If you put everything into one big patch, I guarantee you it's going to confuse the heck out of you after a while. So this way everything is nice and small and easily understandable. We are constraining the window to a specific minimum size and maximum size. And the settings come in here, 4 different coordinates. Then we pack it into this message: window constraint 300 by 200, 720 by 480. And then you have to also send the window exec to execute the command separately. Receive total screen size, window constraint. Yeah, so this is also very simple. Button logic circuit. So this little thing controls a few things about this area, because when I turn off the title, the menu bar has to turn off, because that's the way the dispatcher object works. If you turn off title, it will turn off menu. And then if you turn menu back on, it will not come on unless the title comes back on. So I had to create this logic circuit to reflect that even in the state of the buttons, because let's say I bring back menu and the title is not checked, then title will not come back and menu will also not appear. The two things are tied together in the dispatcher object, so I have no control over that. So I had to create this patch to kind of update the status of these buttons relative to each other, logically the way it works. So that's what this does. And then basically that's it. This is where I am receiving the mouse to query this number continuously. You can see it's flickering. That's because I am moving the mouse. And every time there is a movement, that means there is a change in the window size. If I am moving the window, so it will continuously update these numbers. Yeah, and then this thing, basically this number is limited between 0 and 50. So with this button I can make it jump 50 or 0, jumping between 0 and 50, and that's why I have this thing here. And we can also do it manually. You can see it updates up here, but basically you will be only using 50 or nothing. Receive pad, that fills out the pad when you push on this button. W close, that will close the patcher when you click on close this window, not the other one. Yeah, and then the pattern storage object is working in conjunction with the auto pattern to remember everything you did here and bring it back the same way it was when the last time you closed it. Yeah, so that's basically it. And I'm using different colored patch cords because it's easier to see like what the heck is happening here. Imagine all of this with the gray patch cords, it was not readable. So anyway, it works now. Yeah, so these things I use it to clear and set the messages into this box, drop down box, and these two drop down boxes. So I can clear. I just cleared both of them. See, there is nothing in there. And then I can set it again. See, it comes back. Okay, so now if we go back to presentation mode and then go back to this window, and we can take off the title bar, but we can still move it. So look, that's how it happened, and this will update when I push this button. See, it came back as 300 by 300. That's exactly what we have there, square, and then we can change it to whatever we like. So we can actually choose all the way up to 3840, and it will become that. You can't see that right now because it's extended to my second screen, but see, you can do the same thing. You can do this. You can bring it back to 900. Yeah, so basically that's it. It's very useful. Everything is ready to go. You don't have to waste any time patching, figuring out all of this, like how does it work. Well, you know, it was a lot of work, 25 days, but finally I got it. And this window will also teach you how everything works inside the dispatcher object, because this is like all of it, and some extra that I put in here, like reset and this. Yeah, most of it is the dispatcher object functionality, and this template is ready to go. Like, you don't have to waste any time recreating all this. If you ask me, Macs should come with this kind of control panel with every object. Not that you have to dig through manuals and documentation and help files and tutorials, and that is very time consuming and very cumbersome in Macs. So I think every object should have one of these, and I will create more of them for me and anybody else who wants it. So thank you very much. This is all I have for now. See you later. Bye bye.